Hey guys, this will serve as the weekly overview for April 21st. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So on Monday, we are going to start out with front squats. Again, this will be our main strength day. No conditioning on this day. We've got times 2 on the 2.5 minutes for 6 sets. First 2 are around 80%. And then you have 3 sets to build, and then we'll hit 1 set of 3 at 85 to 90%. I would say 1 set of 2 to 3. But we're just kind of going up and then back down, doing a drop set, giving ourselves a little more time to build here, focusing on the range of motion and doing it correctly. Again, for most of us, we're trying to maintain strength, but for those of you a little newer to the movements, we should be actually building some strength during this more endurance-based block. After that is 3 to 4 rounds, not for time, 10 per leg. So you do it on one leg, then the other of step down. So you're just standing on a box, bringing one leg down. It doesn't really matter how deep you go. It's more about control and getting the knee over the toe and pushing that range of motion of the knee over the toe and being in a stable position. And then obviously going as low as you can. Some people will be able to go lower than others. There's no need to weight this if you don't, if you can't. So don't worry about necessarily the loading, but worry more about the range of motion. All right, and then there's 5 to 6 dumbbell RDLs into a 100-foot farmer's walk. So we're just doing those and then moving, keeping the shoulders back on the farmer's walk, and just getting some good accessory work in after those front squats. On Tuesday, we're going to go times 10 on the 3 minutes, 4 sets on the strict press. You're just going to record each set of 10 there. As we're looking at the strict press, as we get out of Murph, we are going to push a little bit higher volume strict pressing. When it really comes to kind of hitting plateaus or having trouble pushing the strict press number, we need to kind of push more volume in that movement specifically than most other movements due to the fact that the overall loading of the strict press for most people isn't high enough to really push, a good stimulus from just low reps heavy weight, because the jumps are so small and the percentage to your body weight really matters. So again, we're just kind of getting used to this, getting into the 10s. We're going to do some bigger sets after Murph, but just kind of getting used to it. After that, we have 3 rounds, 1 minute of reverse lunges. So you're standing in place, alternating legs, 1 minute of push-ups, 1 minute of air squats, 1 minute of pull-ups, rest 1 minute. All right, and then we're going back through that. Now, if you're RX Plus, if you're planning on wearing a weight vest for Murph, this is your day to kind of get used to it and get to wear it today. Also, for the pull-ups, we're going to scale those to ring rows or jumping chest-to-bar pulls if you can or if you need to. Now, as far as rep targets go, really just looking at trying to, start out, I would say you're going to push this first round pretty tough, manageable sets, quick sets, short rest. And, you're going to try your best to be close to the same reps each round. But realistically, if you're pushing this workout correctly, we should see a drop-off from each set. So you're thinking about trying to get the 3 best rounds you can. It's not 100% on your effort, but you're trying to maybe go 90% that first round and then just trying to keep the drop-off a little bit lower each set. And that last set, just send it and try to do the best you can to get as many reps as you can. On Wednesday, all right, 7-minute AMRAP, 7 minutes on the clock, 800-meter run. Then we're going to do AMRAP with kettlebell swings, 4 minutes rest. Same thing, run, and then burpees to a plate, 4 minutes of rest, run, and then farmer's carry. So after all of this high volume stuff on Tuesday, we're going to kind of bring back the volume a little bit. Now the kettlebell swings is a decent amount of volume here, but it's only 1 set, 1 round. You're trying to find a weight that you can move in big chunks, just nice and smooth, nice and breathing. We really want to push the run today. So think about the run as being a buy-in, but we want to kind of push this at 90% effort where we're really trying to push the intensity on the run, even trying to get faster or maintain the time per set. The other movements are really just full body movements to keep the heart rate up and elevated for a full 7 minutes to get an accumulation of that 21 minutes throughout the whole workout. So really focus on the run today more than anything, and then everything else is just moving steady to finish out the round. On Thursday, we've got 10 minutes on the clock. You've got a 1,500-meter row, as many hand release push-ups in the remaining time, 5 minutes of rest, 1,500-meter ski, AMRAP a D-ball over the shoulder, nice and smooth, 5 minutes of rest, 10 minutes on the clock again, 3,000-meter bike, and then as many ab mat sit-ups. Again, another just conditioning day, working on our aerobic base, focusing on, pushing these things at roughly 80%, and then pushing the biggest, quality sets as we can and trying to maintain sets over a period of time and pushing that muscular endurance. On each of these, again, just think about coming out on each of these monostructural pieces that it should be hard but not impossible. We're looking at maybe roughly 6 minutes or less on this. So a lot of time in the push-up and the D-ball to over shoulder and really the ab mat sit-up. So you have long chunks to just move nice and steady. But we only have one round of each of those, so we should be able to get through it and then feel pretty decent the next day as we work into Kelly. So Kelly is 5 rounds for time, 400-meter run, 30 box jumps, and 30 wall balls. Now, we look at this workout, guys, we're probably going to make Kelly as RX as the RX Plus version, because this is a lot of volume. It's a lot of high volume jumping and really squatting. So I want to think everybody should really be shooting for this intermediate level, which is the 5 rounds of 20 and 20, and maybe even 25 and 25. But really cutting it back, because 150 box jumps and 150 wall balls is not a small task. Okay, so kind of keep that in mind, is that it's a high volume day, and if you feel like your legs have been kind of wrecked and you don't feel ready on this day, then maybe bring it back a little bit, because the 30 wall balls around is going to be tough, okay, and with the box jumps too. So I've never really programmed this workout. You can also, look at doing this as a team. We've done this as a team before, so I would even throw that option out as well on Friday, and say, hey, I want to do this with a partner. You just split the work and you run together. That would be a good way to do this as well. But definitely be paying attention to the overall volume. If your ankles or anything's feeling kind of weird from all the jumping and running we're doing, then we need to look at biking and then move into like a step up or something very simple, or even like, alternating feet onto a plate and back, doing quick feet. But again, really respect this workout. I think it's a really tough one. It's gonna be a hard one for just about everybody, but just kind of remember, like, hey, like, we need to look at the overall volume and move consistent and not, blow it out of the water on this Friday. Now, on to Saturday. Okay, we have our beach workout from 9:30. Okay, it's going to start at 9:30, but we'll be out east of the pier. And then also, we'll have open gym. I'll try to write this up real quick. So we have open gym from 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. Okay, so we'll have limited hours, but we still have the open gym if you guys want to come to the gym. I'm probably going to go to the gym, then head to the beach. So if that's what you plan on doing, we'll see you there.